Really don't think that's going to work. I mean, if this works, I'll be hella surprised. If this works, I'll be hella surprised. Oh, damn, it is working. Oh, damn, it is working. Oh, there's an echo, though. Ah, shit. Oh, damn, it is working. Oh, there's an echo, though. Okay, I'm going to have to do it this way. Just do the mic audio instead of the other two. All right, it is what it is. Okay, I'll figure this out later. Hello, hello, welcome. I just sent a message saying I'm going live, but it seems like people are joining already, which is cool. Oh, gotta mute this one. Okay, let's get this stream started. A little bit to cover, not a lot, but enough that we should pay attention. Okay, let's do this. Oh, one thing I want to note, two things I want to note before I get into charts and all this other stuff. One is we got suspended on X for some reason. I don't know what happened, but I'm trying to figure out how to get back on X. So bear with me. I don't know if it takes a day, 2 days, whatever it is what it is. I think either someone reported us for being a bot, even though it's just me posting, or sometimes George himself posting whenever he closes a position, or we just went against their policy because we don't pay for the API. It's like $5,000 a month or something like that. And I was like, right now across the board. All right, SPY, I'm really interested in getting some puts here. This is your triple top pattern here. So you got 1 rejection, 2 rejections, 3 rejections. You also have a nice head and shoulder forming here. News will send us up or down one way or another, but I do think we're going to be chopped out for the most of the day until 1 p.m. news hits. I'd be interested in shorting or getting puts around until this displacement, which is also the previous huge impulse move from that Trump event or Trump news back in March 23rd. So that's really what I'm looking at. I want to get some puts right off the open. If they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. And then I'd be interested in seeing how this kind of moves. Maybe we consolidate for a little bit for the remainder of the day, and then it goes up or down where and the other. So that's what I'm looking at. This is where I'd be looking to get out of that put position, because that's a spot where you'd be likely to hold. And if you don't hold, we know this from the last class on imbalances / displacements. You're coming back to this displacement here, which is coincidentally the previous week mid. So that's SPY. That's my plan right now. Head and shoulder looks pretty good. Triple top rejection looks pretty good. Again, trading is all about probabilities. Will we win today? Will we not? No clue. But I really like the risk and reward personally for the puts right at open. So that's what I'm doing personally. But you do what you're comfortable with. If you're going to get calls, do get calls. I will say one thing. I do like the 675 calls for this week. And I do also have a hedge here for 624 for the end of the week. But I'm also looking to add a 640p for the end of the week just in case. And the reason I want to get these calls and puts at the same time and do a little straddle is for that news. But I do think the 671, 675 area is going to be tested. I just don't know if it happens this week. And on the downside, you have 640 area, which is your layer of liquidity. We're above the call wall. Call wall is at 650, so we're right above it. And we already know from market makers they lose money above the call walls and below the put walls. So do you think you're likely to come back down, retest 650 here before going higher or before going down? So that's what I got there. USO, don't know what's going on here. This is just, to me, a classic head and shoulder pattern. That's what transpired. I even said this on Thursday, I think it was. Came back down. This is now accumulation. This is just accumulating here. This is also accumulation. I'm also seeing this rejection pattern here play out eventually. I just don't know when. So I do think there's a 2-hour, 3-hour move up here towards 142 for USO. Then comes back down, does another right shoulder, and then comes back down. But I'd be interested in getting calls on USO around 134 if we get there. So that's what I've got marked out. Tesla looks pretty weak. I don't know if you want to play it, but I do think it's going to come back down towards 357 before it decides to go higher or lower. QQQ, we're above the call wall. Call wall is at 580. And what do we know from market makers? They lose money above that and below puts, below the put wall. And you also have a nice head and shoulder pattern forming here. Again, coming back to this displacement zone here at 580, which is coincidentally the call wall as well. So that's what I'm looking at for that. And then IWM, let's go through that really quickly. Literally the same story. You have also another triple top rejection pattern, mini head and shoulder, come back down probably to the middle of this displacement at 249, which is coincidentally your put or call wall. And your put wall is like all the way down at 242. And let's see if they hold this area or not before deciding to get some calls towards the upside. And if it continues going down, you're likely to come back and test the 245, 244 area. Is really what I've got on IWM. ES, this is classic accumulation. What a displacement overnight. Sorry, right here. We had a displacement overnight, which is coincidentally right again in that 50% of the previous displacement, right? You see it? It should be pretty clear to everyone, right? It's right here. And what happens? We test this, we reject, test it, come back and become net buyers towards this area. And let it do the same pattern, head and shoulder on ES, same pattern on NQ, head and shoulder, right? So let's see where we're going to get at open, but I'm interested in personally just getting some puts right off the bat. Not looking for a whole lot, just like 20, 30% moves and then calling it a day until 1 p.m. probably, and then I'll take a straddle on SPX. But if I see something beforehand, I will post it in the channel as I always do. I'm going to be a bit more transparent this time. Not that I haven't been before, but I'm trying to figure out if I can just show the strikes that I'm getting or I want to get and at what price before I actually get them. Because I noticed from on Thursday, I took this 6580 call. It was like $200 when I got them. And I was literally about to post it in the channel and it shot up 200% in literally like 10 seconds as I was writing the message. But at that point in time, I was like, no one should be chasing this. So I ended up not posting that, unfortunately, because it moved really fast in that time. And the 6550Cs that we took from the morning, they ended up expiring in the money. They went from $370 to $2,000 and they expired in the money at like $2,900 or whatever. I sold it too early, but it is what it is. And the 6600 strike is still lit up. It's 15 million bucks. So I do think you gap up on SPX before deciding to either come back down and test a lower layer of liquidity, or you continue grinding higher. I just don't know when that happens. So I'm going to play SPY in the beginning to be on the same page. Zero dated cockpit for SPX, literally the same thing. I also added the displacement zones so they'll appear right away whenever we displace something. And it'll help us build some conviction in when to hold and when not to hold. Gamma is staying shorted until 650, 630. I don't think we get to 630 to be honest, because that's the weekly hedge. But I do think, there are multiple layers of confluence that we have here between gamma exposure, how dealers are positioned, how the chart looks, that puts are the better risk and reward. And once again, for the last time, at least last time today, trading is a game of probabilities. We don't have to be right 100% of the time. We just have to be more right than wrong. So that's what I got on SPY, QQQ. 570, we're above that. So let's just go back down towards that area before we buy some calls. But not a lot of volume, like 5.2 bill, 2.8 bill, 5 bill on IWM. So SPY and IWM are looking better than QQQ. NVDA has a lot of, I don't know why, but they have a lot of volume. So let's see what happens at open. And we'll observe these charts and dealer positioning update within the first 5 minutes ideally. But I'm personally interested in getting some some puts right off the open. And let me just log into my broker so we can just do that together. And one thing I do want to mention before I forget, the 100 to 5K challenge, turn $100 into 675 over the course of a week. And I do want to take some of these weeklies on that same account. They're a bit high risk, but I think they're worth the risk here. Netflix 1 or 2 Cs at 51. FRO, which is a tanker play at 40 calls for $45. STX, if you can afford it, $300 for the 470 strike for the weeklies. And Intel calls the 52Cs at $100 per con. I think they're pretty good RR. But if you don't want to take on the risk, totally fine. I'm just doing that because I think these are setting up for a breakout here. And the way that I'm thinking about this, I'll show you on FRO. You might have a head and shoulder here. That's the reason I put it as high risk. But I do think that you're holding above this imbalance. You're likely to go, or displacement rather, you're likely to go up and carve out a higher high and higher low. So that's what I like there. Intel, they don't give a shit what's happening in the straight. We've held this area for some time. You're starting to break out. Again, you have a risk of a head and shoulder here as well. But as long as we hold above this area, we're likely to go higher towards that 54 area, maybe 55 by the end of the week. So that's that. And then the other one that I posted was Netflix and FLX. Apparently they got an upgrade from some analyst. So it's looking like it's going to break out. That's why I took those calls. But there's the move already. So let's see what we get as we move forward. And let them do the manipulation here. I do really want to get some puts at the 657.75 area. That's really what I'm looking at for puts. Y'all with me so far? Excellent. USO is about to fly. I'm 90% sure. And then I'll get some puts right now. I might be overpaying for them, but I think the risk and reward is favorable for me personally. So I like the 650 strike, as I said, at $50. Honestly, it's pretty good RR, but I'm going to see if I can get it at a discount at maybe, oh, nope, just premium just jumped. You saw that go from $50 to $59 in like a span of a second. More paying ahead probably, but I want to get these at 50 now if I can get it. 0.50. Maybe my broker's glitching. I don't even know. Go to my SPY portfolio. We'll fill this order. I'm trying to get 2 of these. Let me just reload this page because I think my broker is glitching, and then we'll figure out how we can get this fill. Puts, 0 dated options, 650 strike at 50. Perfect. Maybe 0.48 actually. Sorry, 48. 2 of these, right? We're good to go. And we'll do that. And then we'll see if we get filled. I think we will. And again, I'm not looking for a huge move here. I'm looking to capture 10, 20, 30%, getting out of that position. And then from there, moving forward with my life until 1 o'clock, where I can do a straddle on SPX. You're near the maximum GAM exposure at 660. You're likely to consolidate. I think George is right. And I don't think he'll open anything because there's not a lot of volume today. Oh, look at that. He's doing something here. 1D bullish displacement zone, watching for hold and rejection on gold. Oddly enough, has a lot of volume. Interesting. I actually like that. So what he's seeing is that we have this displacement, right? We're in the 50% range. If we hold above this, you're likely to go up. I like that. Maybe we'll get some gold calls. Oh, and by the way, the 650 puts have filled. You can probably get them at a discount, like $40 here if you wanted to, 44. But again, I'm not interested in a huge amount of drawdown here. So I'm still kind of green on these or break even on this if you're scared of holding. Take the win. Nice. People got them at 44. You're up a little bit. Take the win if you want. I'm literally at break even, so I don't have to do much. And now I'm green. Look at that, 5%. 7%. We'll see if we can get 30, and then I will close this position and move on until 1 p.m. %, 23%. Look at that. We're winning here. We're winning at George. If you want to take the win at 20%, please take the win. I have no qualms letting this go to 0. I do think the puts are the better risk and reward, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get 100% here, if not more. But again, you do what you're comfortable with. I'm looking at 100, 200% plays here, and I want to get the biggest move with the fewest amount of moves. And if you want to take the win at 18, 20, 30% if you're scared of holding, please just take the win. I'm going to do what I always do, which is hold to 0. Let me also write it in the stickies so people know. SPY 650p at 44, 48 plus 20%, still holding. You didn't miss much, Mooseless. We were just in some puts here that peaked at 20%. Some people got them at 44. Some people got them at 48. We peaked at 22% so far. This is looking like a manipulation candle to me personally, but what do I know? Rejecting, this is a small displacement area, but you're rejecting here so far. Weirdly, still green on these puts. I'm going to hold these, see what happens. If we close above 657.75, I'd be interested in getting calls. But we're not there yet, so I have no interest in doing that just right now. I might add a couple more here if we don't close above 657.75. Let's see. This is the rare time that I go to the 5 minute because I want to see what happens here. Wow, they actually might send it. Who knows? Give it a second. Give it like 10 more minutes. It's rejecting right now. I put these in 590C on Qs. I do like that. I do see the thesis. Let me open that up one sec. It's rejecting. You might be able to capture like a 20-30% move here on if you took QQQ calls, but I do think you're going to reject back down because you're above the call wall. And there's a nice rejection, but it might be setting up for higher, but we'll see. All right, we're green on these puts again, 5%. If you got it at a discount at like $40, congrats. You're up like 10-20% here. Nice reject on the 15 minutes here. 12%. I do think we're going to get 100 here, maybe more. And if I can be done by 10, even better, because I got to go take a call. 23%, look at that. 30%, nice. Okay, take the win, y'all. Take the win at 40 here. Oh. 40%, there it is. Shall we call it? 50, nice. 52. Oh, 54, I like it. All right, 61%. Let's take the win, y'all. I don't know if we can do much better because we're going to chop out for the rest of the day until 1 p.m. I'm actually looking to sell one right here. Oh, 75%. What the hell just happened? I'm telling you, it wants to nuke like real bad. 71. Okay, you're up 61% still. 70 here that we peaked out at so far. I've sold one. I have one. I just want to see what happens. I don't really care about the rest. This might be setting up for higher, but I don't know. I literally do not know. I mean, let's see what George is saying on Gamma/SPX. Short pops. Okay, I like the thesis. SPX. What is SPX saying? That's still lit up. That's suspicious to me. I don't know if we get that right now or if this is going to take a while. Let's go look at the SPX chart. Where do we gap up to? Well, first of all, what day is it today? April 6th. So we're right here. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, 6,600 was the gap up. I see. Okay, so they've already made money. Yo, this thing is goated. What the hell? This is from Thursday, by the way. This is carried over from Thursday. All right, so they rejected right here at 6,600. I see. I see what happened there. Great. Okay, now are you going to go higher or not? You should be looking to close these puts. If you're green, please just take the win. I do think it's setting up for higher out of concern. Happy to help. Actually, I might just sell this last one at... Nah, I'm going to hold it. Let's see what happens. There's a strong chance we just reject here, come back down. But you should have been able to get a nice 70% play there if you held, or 20% now if you want to take the win. Weeble. And or I just remember I'm doing this $1,000 challenge on SPX. So started with $1,000 today, and let's see where I end up. I just want to see one thing before I actually move forward with this. If these call premiums start going up, I'm going to be interested in getting some calls. Delete all these because they're expired and I don't really care about those. Delete, 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 delete. Okay, so let's just watch the 6,600 strike. If this goes up to like $16, $1,600 per contract, I think we're going to bounce hard. Oops. You see how it's going up while the market is quote unquote dropping? I think you're setting up for a move higher. I just don't know if we get that in the next like 20 minutes or not. Okay, these contracts are juiced. Do I want to take the 6660? I don't know. If I can get them at $200, I might be interested. Got to make you're all making money. I like the 6650 strike here. Maybe I'll get one or two. $66.25 at $800, $700 is pretty good risk and reward as well. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna place an order for the 6640 strike. I got one of these. I'm gonna get them at 4.80 maybe. Actually, maybe I'll get fill at 4. Let's see. We made money on these puts. I'm just going to hold one just in case, but you should have taken the win at 20 to 50 to 70%. I'm going to hold that because that's my hedge for my small SPY portfolio. And I'm trying to get fill out into these calls on SPX. And remember, news is inbound at 1 p.m., so we'll see. Nice, 55%. That's pretty good. Honestly, we can't do much more right within the first 15 minutes. Just so people know why I'm looking at SPX calls. If this area holds, which I think it might, and this area holds, which I think it might, I have no idea, we kind of negate the head and shoulder pattern that we saw on SPY. So that's the reason I'm interested in getting calls, is if this holds here above this displacement, holds above this displacement, holds above this head and shoulder pattern is invalidated because we're going to go make up a higher high. But I want to get these calls at a discount because I have zero interest in paying $500 for these. And I don't know if we get filled. So what I might do is see if I can get them at 450 instead. Maybe 450. Let's see what happens. If I'm out, I'm out. Oh, maybe it filled. No, it didn't. AVGO, let's go look. I have no clue. Oh, my order's filled. Let's see if I go down a little bit here or go green. I do like AVGO calls, and the reason for that is like this displacement is holding. You're above 50% here, so it might go up. I like the thesis. Do it. Okay, I'm gonna watch these calls until puts, you mean? I'm holding half. I took some light SPX calls that I want to add to if this area holds. Yeah, I kept half my puts at 70%. You know, when I see it, I'm taking the win. Especially if it's within the first like 15, 20 minutes. The puts are, well, they're down 12%, 10% now, but they were up 70% here. Let me just put this here at plus 4% so far. I wonder what the news is that's coming out. And the reason I think there's news coming out is because we're sweeping this imbalance over and over again, or this displacement rather over and over again. If I look at it on the 5, you'll see what I mean. It's like just consolidating here. I do think it's flagging to go higher. I just don't know when. It might take all day. Oh, I'm sorry, Hawkeye. We got 70% on those. Oh, 7% on these calls. Nice. If it comes back into my discount area of like 30%, I'll be interested in getting more calls. Classic egg. Get 20% in these calls. If you want to take the win, please take the win. This might be setting up for a breakout. I just want to see if it clears above 6610 here, which is the previous rejection spot and the previous displacement area. I do think it's flagging to go out here, 24%. I hope someone nabbed that one. It can't just be me here making money on both sides. Runner might be dead. Okay, 25%. Wow, we've done well. We played both sides. Mooses is not traded. That's unfortunate. That's right, Poopy did this time. And they were red for him. I think he's now up like 10, 20%. We just got to watch this area. That's all. The only thing I can think of. It's like we just got to watch this area. I do think there's news coming out. I mean, I know there's news coming out at 1 p.m., but I'm saying there's news coming out before that. The way that this is behaving, and the reason I think that news is coming out. And again, what do we know? When we're sweeping these layers of liquidity, you're either going to go up really fast or go down really fast. That's why I'm keeping this hedge on SPY. And I took these calls only on SPX because I do think you're likely to go up. If we close above this, you're likely to go and tag this next layer of liquidity, which is at 6640. That's why I took the 6640 calls, just so people know. And the other thing that gives me conviction in these calls right now is this interest at 6600. Oh, and the upside are growing at 6650. Yo, what is going on? What news is coming out? That's going to pump us to 6650. Did y'all see that? Or was it just me? You know what I should do? I should probably put this down here and put the chat up there. Let's go see Rut. And by the way, guy up north / fake Atano, your AVGO calls, if you got them, they're green. See, right at that 50% of the displacement. We held it, went up. Let's go look at Rut while we're here. Hawkeye, to be honest, this looks weak. But I do think there's a chance here if we hold above this this displacement zone. you're likely to go up towards the 60, sorry, got some SPX on my mind, 25.56 area, 25.55, that's your call wall. So let's see what happens there. I do think you're setting up for a hold, but I think what's going to happen is news is going to accelerate us. And you just saw, for some reason, 66.50 being lit up. It's not a bad lot if you want to get it at $300, maybe 320 if you want to set your limit fills. But we're green on these. Nicely done. Okay, I'm gonna break even here basically. I don't have to do much. I just gotta wait and wait this out. I just gotta wait and see what the hell happens here. We're at the resistance at 6,600. I get it. Not a lot of volume though. That's the thing that concerns me. But oh, displacement is holding. Look at that. The updates that I made over the weekend have worked. Hallelujah. And 3.3x volume compared to the opening candle. Amazing. All right. Gives me more confidence in these calls. Wow, I'm surprised this worked. I was friggin' coding this up over the weekend. I'm surprised it actually held. Wow, this thing is goated. I love this. Okay, we're green on these still. If you want to take the win at 7%, take the win. I think there's a high chance here we break out. High chance. This is your undercut. We made money there. We're holding this area. You're likely to go up and go towards 663 now, 664. Oh, Danny, if you held those 664 calls, they might actually go on the money. I don't know. Okay. Why is it behaving this way? We got to understand. This is an area we've rejected time and time again. If this clears above 6610, you're likely going to go towards 6676. Whether we get that today or not, I have no clue. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you can hear the music, by the way. I don't think it's working anymore. We'll play it, though. See what happens. The only thing that gives me concern here, if I look at the USO chart just quickly. You're rejecting. Okay. I think the read that I had this morning before we even got the market open was probably right. You're setting up for a head and shoulder here. Let's go look at VIX because I'm curious to see what that's doing. And then I'll close the stream at like around 10. Yeah, it's dropping. All right. It probably comes back down towards 22. And that's going to be the base to see if it goes higher or lower. There's got to be some news coming out at 10. Like, this is moving so weird. I'm just seeing if this is going to close over the 6604 area or not. Let me just draw a line for you all so you can see what I see. We'll take this little candle and we'll bring it down here. Oops. We'll bring it down here. And there's another area of interest right here, coincidentally. So if we flip 6605, you're likely to go towards 6645. Still green on these. Still green on these calls. If you want to take the win, you got filled. You could have got filled like multiple times here because it came back to break even or maybe even cheaper, like 3-4 times, and you're up like 10%, 20%. Just take the win, honestly. Because we might just chop here for the rest of the day until 1 p.m. news. So it's back at break even right now. Could have got filled right there and be up 4%. Let's go see what SPY is doing. Because if this goes above and holds above 657.75, you're likely to go towards 662 right away. Right away being like in the next half hour, I mean. I just don't know why 6650 is lit up. Why? Why? What's the news that's going to come out that's going to send us up there? What are you seeing, George? Why is that happening? I don't get it. They're buying though, so maybe it works. You're up 20% on these calls. I mean, if you want to take the win, please. They went from 450 to $600 almost. Okay, I'm not in the stream. We should be green. We've taken both sides here and made some money, so I want to wait to see what happens until we do by 12:50, and then we'll take a play back around then out here. I'm gonna leave this call open and see where we end up. Cool. Wow, I can't even type here. Leaving it open for now. I will see you all soon. We should be green. We made money on puts, 70%. We made money on calls, 25% so far. All right. Yeah, the chop is starting egg because there's news coming out at 1 p.m. We'll chat soon, y'all. Take it easy.